kazi,
na pia kwa sauti tofauti za watangazaji wetu waliobobea.
Libengo niko hapa aka upcoming sponsor. Bila shaka hapa ni kama ya PDC, ma deep state, pia vile cartels.
Tunaenzi talanta za Pwani, tunakuza talanta za hapa kwetu nyumbani.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tuko Mjengoni kama kawa na wanangu wengine wawili.
Usikose kutegea 103.1 Pwani FM, station ambayo itakupa fursa ya kupata uhondo kamili wa Pwani na kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
Pwani FM, tafrija kipwani. Live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. This is KBC English Service.
Listen to the radio.
The UN Secretary General OSAN has arrived in Monrovia.
Started in 1928, the KBC English service is proudly the station of the nation and the mother of radio in Kenya. The heritage brand Sundowner remains the undisputed #1 early evening show. As we celebrate the unique value of radio on World Radio Day 2026, the Sundowner Sunset Date is coming home.
Rock me, rock me, rock me, baby.
We invite you to come and enjoy the show right from Broadcasting House, live, and interact with your favorite presenters of the station on Friday the 13th of February 2026, starting from 4 p.m. till late. Entry is free. It's a date this Friday at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation on Harithuku Road, Nairobi.
Rock me till I won't no more. There's a feeling of love deep inside me.
KBC and the world continue to observe World Radio Week with events to culminate on Friday. So allow me to say this. Ningatho nyinge muno tundu gukwatanira natu mubangori wa Lunchtime News umuthi tariki 11 mweri wa kairi mwaka wa 2022. On behalf of Ngemi FM and all over 20 radio stations and services right here on KBC, we welcome you to have an opportunity and also to celebrate with us World Radio Week that will culminate with World Radio Day that will be this Friday. You're just in time for Lunchtime News. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Njue. Karo Njoroge joining me on the sign language interpretation. Straight to the news. Senate Deputy Speaker and Meru Senator Kadhuri Murungi has slammed the Council of Governors for threatening to boycott Public Accounts Committee sessions for questioning, telling them to either shape up or resign from office, denying claims of intimidation of the governors. The senator also told the governors to report to the Senate and investigate agencies to probe claims of extortion.
Wewe kama hesabu zako ziko sawa, mbona pia usikuje upeane hesabu zako vizuri vile umefanya kazi? Na kuna governors wazuri pia ambao wamefika katika Senate na wameeleza vizuri kabisa vile wametumia pesa zao. Kale maswali yameulizwa na muhasibu mkuu Auditor General, wameanza kujibu na kupeana ni kwa nini. Kama kuna documents wako wamepeana, wameenda na wakapeana hizo documents ama hizo stakabadhi wa Auditor General na hesabu zao wameangaliliwa vizuri. Lakini niwaambie, hata ukijaribu namna gani, hakuna vile utaepuka kufika kwa Senate. Ukitaka usifika kwa Senate, njiuzuru. mara moja, watu wako deputy governor achukue na yeye aendeleze kazi, sababu hata ukijiuzuru hatutarudi uchaguzi. Katiba iruhusu turudi uchaguzi kwako.
Cross-border leaders are calling for coordinated action to deal with the threat posed by drought and insecurity in the northeastern region. The leaders spoke during an inter-peace meeting bringing together cross-border communities where they noted the linkage shared through livelihoods, kinship, trade and mobility, saying close cooperation helps address these matters, while noting competition over natural resources as a major contributor towards conflict. Participants said peace-building, social cohesion and development across border regions helps to deal the threats posed.
That there is pasture, we move. So we said that, we are human beings and we feel mercy for one another. We shall not tamper with the pastoralist communities who have, for example, moved from Kenya to Somalia or from Somalia to Kenya.
All the delegates from all the three countries have made commitment. They have showed cooperation and they say they will collaborate in peace efforts that will help us stabilize our Mandela Triangle.
So we are in the Sukuta Valley and in Samburu. So
in other news, Samburu County security officers and human rights activists, in conjunction with the National Campaign Against Alcohol and Drugs Abuse NACADA, have held peace walks in Maralal, Sokomjinga and Rangau towns to sensitize residents about drugs and illegal alcohol use. Kirisia Deputy Commissioner George Murage called on the youth to renounce drug use and take up government empowerment projects such as the Nyota program and the construction of affordable houses.
We are here for a prevention week, and its main objective is to raise awareness in our country, because from our statistics we have realized that so many youth and so many individuals have really gotten themselves into problems that are resulted by substance and drug abuse.
Takwimu zinasema kwamba zaidi ya watu milioni 3 wanatumia pombe katika Kenya. Hawa watu wote, iwapo tunaweza achana na pombe na tufanye mambo mengine, tutajenga taifa ambalo ni la manufaa, ambalo linastawi zaidi.
Tumelose mabwana, tumelose watoto, na pia tumekuja kuambia hawa youth na pia wamama ya kwamba maisha inawezekana bila hii pombe.
Tunataka jamii yetu iweze kuingia kwa zile government projects zenye zinapeana. Kuna Nyota program, kuna housing programs which are ongoing in Marara in Samburu County. Badala ya vijana kukaa huku wakizembea wakijihusisha na madawa za kulevya, waingie katika hizo projects.
And to health matters now, where it has emerged that SHA has not contracted services for hospitals abroad, meaning Kenyans who are currently seeking or receiving treatment outside the country will have to foot their own bills. SHA CEO Dr. Masi Mwangangi says that the authority has not sought service providers yet due to the ongoing verification process that is currently ongoing, leaving 100 stranded abroad without settling their medical bills. The MPs were taken aback by the response and directed the CEO to forego the bureaucratic bottlenecks and settle the debts for the Kenyans seeking treatment in other parts of the country.
Lost will be recovered. Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Let's have CEO.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you,
and
honorable
we'll be
members.
asking the legal officer to come back so that we need to engage her more on two fronts, that issue and also the other bit when she comes back. Oh, this is the legal officer. And your neighbor is?
Claims.
Oh, claims. Yes. Fine. Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair and honorable members. I'll start with the unapproved foreign trip. So at the time then, 2022, NHIF sought approval for the overseas trip for its board members, and the approval was obtained from the head of public service. We have attached an appendix where Appendix 0 shows the subject matter, which was a study tour to Thailand, and we'll be able to avail. It shows also the agenda of the trip, the discussions that were held during the trip. We will avail. It shows the visa proceedings. It also shows the clearance, the travel clearance in respect of Dr. Richard Thuo Kamau, who was a board member, who had been invited, as well as the travel clearance from the head of public service for the chief executive officer, as well as board members Silpa Owich, Andrew Owinyo, and Rachel Monyoncho. Chair, we take note. We take note of the honourable member's guidance in terms of the requisite approval processes. However, for this specific trip that is on item number 3, unapproved foreign trips, the requisite approvals were sought from the head of public service and travel clearances. With regards to the issue of unabsorbed staff, I'd like to state that our PSC establishment curtailed the number of staff from a previous 1,700 to 815. And so the approved establishment that we have from PSC can only fit 815 officers. What this means is that there will have to be officers that will transition out. NHIF previously had about 1,700. It means half of these officers would transition out. Through the court process, consent was signed by PSC and SHA for salary to self, whereby this staff will transition with their salaries, personal to holder, to different MDAs, and PSC is leading this process of ensuring that the deployment takes place. But it's important to note that SHA is already constrained by an establishment that cuts the numbers by half, and we have to follow the establishment by PSC. With regards to the CARO scheme, again, through the chair, the honourable member is correct. The CARO scheme was operating under the previous defunct NHIF. However, I'd like to state that the loss ratio of the CARO scheme was 214%. It means that for every 1 shilling that was paid in, NHIF defunct had to pay out 214 shillings. So it was a highly loss-making and sustainable scheme. Currently, there is a conversation being held through the Ministry of Health with the CARO Association to look at that scheme and to compute any new premiums that would be required. But it's important to note that the new law does not prescribe for the uptake of the CARO scheme because under NHIF, it was an enhanced scheme. The current SHE Act does not allow for the uptake. Proposes that.
That has been SHA CEO Dr. Mercy Mwangangi there responding to queries from members of parliament. It has emerged that some Kenyans are being stranded abroad because SHA has not cleared their outstanding bills. But in her own words, she has stated that the authority is currently verifying debt owed to hospitals abroad, claims made during the defunct NHIF. We'll be getting a little bit more in regards to that, but MPs have urged the CEO to just settle the outstanding balances so that the stranded Kenyans can have their way back to the country. We will be keeping tabs with that. Hashim Abdiaziz is currently on that bit. And I'm also talking about, I started by talking about Radio Week. All this week, we've had several very interesting activities right here at Broadcasting House. And as we speak, my colleague Nancy Okwari is currently keeping tabs with what is happening, especially right here in Broadcasting House. We've been having all the radio stations, the 20-plus radios and service stations, and enjoying. Even fans like you have an opportunity to enjoy that as well. But I can see her on screen. So currently, good afternoon, Nancy. What more can you tell us in regards to this very, very auspicious occasion? Hello, Nancy, if you can hear me.
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Ben Troy Njue, back in studio. We're coming to you live from Broadcasting House. Now, this is the third day where the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation has been marking the World Radio Week. It is a week that will be running all the way from Monday until Friday, when the world will be marking the World Radio Day. It is a day that is so important because it is set aside just to look at how far radio has come, what are the strides, and of course the developments that have been there, given that we are in the season of artificial intelligence. And maybe you're asking why I'm rocking a Manchester City outfit. It's because today, from Monday, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation employees have been having a theme of what to wear from Monday all the way to Friday. And of course, yesterday people were wearing the African attire, and today we are wearing sporty outfit. And of course, I'm here to remind Arsenal fans that very soon we'll be on top of the table. And of course, as we celebrate this day, we have been having some fans coming into the broadcasting house just to see what happens here. They have been visiting the various radio stations to meet and interact with their favorite presenters. And right now I'm joined by one of the fans. Karibu sana, utakaribia tu tueleze kwanza jina lako na umetoka upande gani?
Mimi naitwa Kanyi. Nimetoka huko Gatodo sana. Nimekuja tu kujionea the way this company operates. Yes.
Wewe kama shabiki wa redio, unapoanza leo hii kulikuwa na watu wanaonyeshwa jinsi ambavyo redio ilianza kuanzia kitambo, ile mitambo ilikuwa inatumika hadi saa hii tumefika kutumia mitambo ya kisasa. Umehisije baada ya kuona hayo yote?
Sasa mimi nimefurahi sana sababu sijaona hivyo. Mliendelea mbele sana sababu wakati wa watu kama Elizabeth Obenge, wakati huo watu kama huyu mzee, hii kipindi ilikuwa naitwa Je Huni Ungwana. Huyu mzee sijui mambo
ambaye sasa ni marehemu.
Marehemu. Sijui kama huyu mzee ni marehemu.
Ndio, Mambo Mbotela ni marehemu. Na pengine leo hii baadhi ya wale ambao umezungumza nao, umekutana na watangazaji wote ambao umekuwa ukiwasikiza kwenye redio?
Sijakutana na wote, lakini yule nimekutana naye ni huyu Wagari wa Megwe. Lakini ningependa tu kuona hata hawa wengine wala hata vile mnafanya ile draw ile inafanyika hapa, ningependa kwenda huko nione inakuwa namna gani. Yes.
Asante sana kwa kuzungumza nasi na tunatumai ya kwamba utakutana na hawa watangazaji wote. Asante. Naam, bila shaka now that is one of the fans, and from Monday we've been having so many fans coming into the broadcasting house. They have visited the various radio stations, and of course even learners from learning institutions, those who want to be journalists, and of course we have high school learners. And just a few meters from where I'm standing, there is a tent. Now that's where everyone who comes in, they are taken through just there to see the evolution of radio, what has been happening from then since radio was first hit the airwaves in the country. And of course we know that KBC is known as Baba na Mama. All the ancient equipment that were used back in the day are here. We are able to see what was happening, what was used back in the day, and just what has evolved. And right now we are using modern equipment. It is just a time for us to appreciate radio ahead of the World Radio Day that will be celebrated on the 13th. That is on Friday, and we will be having the Sundowner event where the fans of KBC English service will be treated to their beautiful various country music right here at Broadcasting House. But for now, I hand it back to you, Ben Troy Njue, in studio.
My colleague Nancy Okware there just giving us a taste of what to expect, and those activities have been throughout this week but will culminate with a very interesting one on Friday. And as you can see, she is donned in a Manchester City jersey. I should be in my Arsenal jersey. She just said that Arsenal and Manchester City will be on top of the table soon. Yeah, but in her dreams. But anyway, in the course of this week, as you have seen a number of activities happening there, including having an opportunity to also, have a taste of what KBC has to offer, especially when it comes to radio, if it's Ingo, if it's Mwato, Ngemi, if it's Shoro. if it's KBC, Idaya, Taifa, and others. So make sure you keep tuned for those activities and much, much more. Elsewhere, a grade 2 pupil in Eshilakwa village in Navaholo constituency, Kakamega County, has died after he was run over by a sugarcane tractor belonging to West Kenya Sugar Company. According to witnesses, the boy was reportedly attempting to pull a sugarcane stick from the moving tractor when heading home from school when the tragic incident happened. Residents have urged the government to expand the Igotse-Bushiri road to help reduce frequent accidents in the area, while calling on tractor drivers plying the route to exercise great caution. West Kenya Sugar Company expressed regret over the incident and pledged to work with authorities to enhance road safety awareness, particularly in sugarcane farming zones.
Mimi nilikuwa mbele na beskeli. Trakta ilikuwa nyuma yangu. Watoto wa shule walikuwa kando ya barabara. Sasa trakta kunipita mimi. Kidogo tu nikasikia kichwa imepasuka, kuangalia nyuma nikaona ubongo. Hao watu walikuwa nyuma trakta kakimbia, but mzuri nikafanikiwa kushika driver. Ilinileta driver nikaachia hapo raia mimi.
Tukakuja na mse, tukahakikisha kweli mtoto amekufa. Tingatinga imempiga mbaya hata mimi nimesikia uchungu. Huyo ni mchukuu wangu. Amesoma Ishilakwe hii mwaka yenye ilikuwa ya jana imeisha akisoma Ishilakwe.
Tunaomba driver nao wakuwe waangalifu kwa sababu huwa wanapita mara mingi kama watu wamekalia hiyo tractor juu. Wangeona huyo mtoto anafuruta miwa wamkatase, maybe hicho kitendo hakingefanyika.
Elsewhere, more than 3,000 families from Mwazaro village in Shimoni, Lunga sub-county, Kwale County, say they are living in fear following alleged harassment by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations officers reportedly acting in collaborations with a tycoon over 320-hectare piece of land. Ownership of the land has ended in a dispute that is pending resolution in court. Residents claim they have endured repeat night raids by individuals believed to be DCI officers who allegedly break into their homes and intimidate families. They are now calling on the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, to investigate the matter and ensure those responsible are held accountable under the law. More than 3,000 families from Mwazaro village in Shimoni, Lunga County say they are now living in fear.
Ishu za ardhi Shimoni zimekuwa ni ishu kubwa sana. Viongozi wetu walioko madarakani hawayagusii masala haya kwa sababu wanapata vinono. Lakini sisi mashinani tunahangaishwa. Tumechoka, siku moja kwetu inakuwa ni kama mwezi mmoja. Kwa sababu hatujui tutaamkia wapi tukilala.
Usiku wa jana, saa 3 usiku waliweza kufamia katika poma yangu. Hakika kuna watoto wangu waliweza kuangaizwa, mmoja wa miaka 9, mmoja wa miaka 11. Waliweza kutoa mmoja akiwa amelala.
In a related news, traders in Nairobi's pipeline area have complained of harassment and eviction by county enforcement officers since the official opening of the AIC Church pipeline by President William Ruto. The traders say they have been struggling to earn a living since the event last Sunday, claiming they no longer have a place to carry out their daily businesses. They allege that county officers have been forcefully removing them from the area, making it difficult for them to sustain their livelihoods. The affected traders are now appealing to President William Ruto to intervene and ensure they are allowed to resume their businesses, saying their source of daily income has been disrupted.
On Thursday tuliambiwa kibada isirale hapa. Sisi tukafanya heshima, tukatii sheria, tukatoa vibada. Sasa kurudi tulifurushwa, tukaambiwa tusirudi hapa. Unaona kumewekwa segenge hapa, maua inapandwa. Hiyo side akasema ni yake, mhubiri wa hii church AIC.
Tangu akuje aende tujarudishiwa vibanda, tukuli tunashinda hapa usiku na mchana. Hatujui nini kinaendelea, tuambiwi.
So hii ni siku ya 6 hatujakula kitu. Hatujapata pesa yeyote yenye tunafanya biashara. Watoto wanasoma hapa kwa shule na watoto wengi leo hawajaenda shule sababu hatujafungua kazi.
Now to the sandy beaches of the coast, where traders at the historic 106-year-old Majengo market in Mvita constituency have unanimously welcomed the proposed redevelopment of the facility, calling for a variation in the 685 million shillings project designed to focus solely on modern market component. They were speaking at a public participation forum on the project organized by the State Department of Housing at Tononoka Ground. The Coast Regional Director of Affordable Housing and Markets, John Karanja, said the department would incorporate the views raised by traders who only want the market without the affordable housing units housed in the same building as was the initial design plan.
This project encompasses what we call a mixed-use development. Mixed-use development is whereby you have the commercial spaces, a market, and as well as affordable housing. We have had a public participation, but the traders have indicated that they would wish we increase the levels of the market, and then the bit of affordable housing probably to be looked at a different site. So those are the issues, major peaks, and I think we are up to the task. We can always look at the designs.
Very well, it's about 23 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for a fast break, but when we come back, I'll still have more stories to run you through. Then we make sense of business and the latest from the world of sports, especially the English Premier League matches played last night, with more today and also tomorrow.
Allah alimwamuru ajenge safina kubwa ambayo aliweza kuwaingiza binadamu na pia wanyama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aliteremsha mvua na mafuriko makubwa ambayo yaliweza kuwasomba wale wote waliokuwa hawajapanda kwenye jahazi lile.
Ni mambo gani ukiwa nayo kama mwanadamu utakuwa umepata faida kubwa hapa duniani na kesho akhera?
Na ikukataze maovu. Alhasil, jipambe na tabia njema, kusema ukweli, kuwa na rahma, we mtu wa kusamehe. Alhasil, mtu mwenye kutoa ile amana, kujipamba na tabia njema.
Masjid ni kitovu cha mshikamano. Ni mahali ambapo familia nzima hukutana, vijana hujifunza stadi za maisha na watoto hukua wakilelewa katika misingi ya imani.
Mambo ya kuungua na moshi ambapo mke tuko naye huyu. Nishakwambia wakati wowote, saa yoyote njoo, na kama una njaa mwambie Amina chochote unachotaka kupikia. Huyu ni kama bibi yako pia.
Unaweza kuwa wewe ni mzuri, uolewe na mwingine bongolala. Siwezi kutoka siku moja nikupeleke picnic. Uende ujionee hata tupitie mahali kama hizo zinauzwa.
Sasa leo wewe wananiambia twende mimi na wewe picnic. Wataka kunivunjia nyumba yangu masanduku. Taona ulimletea bibi hapa karibu.
Bibi nani?
Mimi je?
Yaani mimi sijui kumbe masanduku ashakuoa. Baba hawezi kutoka paka leo ni mchafu. Hapana.
Leo ni wewe ndio utajitetea ama bado uko na ule
woza kama kawa. Ako heri atakuja tusaidie na wakili.
Wewe si mkoti.
Sorry. Pow. Is he your boyfriend?
No.
Thank you very much. Why are you there?
Where?
To that scene when that scene was going on. Unaongeza nini? Kwa hivyo hujamaliza masomo? Masomo si mimi nilimaliza ndio nafanya kazi kama library. Just agree with me, please. Hujamaliza, are we together?
We are not together.
We are together. Don't usipishane na mimi. Are we together? Ulipeana kwa nini ulimpatia? Nakwambia. Yeye ndiye alinipatia. Kwa nini? Shut up now. Ala. I'm coming. Why did you choose that guy instead of choosing me?
Welcome back. Moving on, police in Ruiru, Kiambu County are being urged to investigate and prosecute persons who will be found culpable of a recent arson attack at business stalls in Junction area. Affected traders have begun rebuilding their stores which were razed on Sunday. They claim nothing was salvaged from the midnight inferno that was allegedly started by a gang that arrived in motorbikes and harassed watchmen guarding the premises before proceeding to torch the stalls.
Unapata yule ambaye aliweza kuunganisha shilingi 1, 2, 3 akaweza kupata nguvu ya kupata riziki yake, uje tena umnyang'anye hiyo kwa niaba ya tikuwa unaleta maendeleo. Hiyo sasa ndio inaitwa uuni.
Wengine wameenda wamechukua loan to a tune of 700,000. Mtu kama huyu amechomewa, hana mbele wala nyuma, hajui atakula wapi, atalisha watoto namna gani, hajui watoto wake watasoma vipi.
Still in Kiambu, the Kiambu County Assembly has resumed sitting after a prolonged recess amid rising political tension over reports of a possible impeachment motion against the governor. The MCA's called for unity as leaders said 8 pending bills, including the ECD bill, will be prioritized. Speaker Charles Thingo assured members that funds from the county executive will be used to refurbish the assembly and complete stalled projects. Assembly leader dismissed claims of intimidation and assured members that legislative business would proceed without disruption. Still in Kiambu, a family from Kiambu County is in distress after their kin went missing in June last year. The 26-year-old Joseph Kamau traveled to Moscow, Russia in search of greener pastures, and the communication went silent once he landed in Moscow. Kamau, a trained chef, reportedly secured what he described as a chef's job at the Russian army with the promise of a better wage. Kamau's mother, Susan Wanjiru, claims her son was linked to the opportunity by a woman she'd never met who helped facilitate his travel, documents, and relocation. Now, the devastated mother is appealing to the government to help trace her son's whereabouts, saying she fears for his safety amid reports of Kenyans facing hardship in Russia. The family also called on the government to create more job opportunities locally to prevent youth from seeking risky opportunities overseas.
Sijui kama mtoto wangu ako uhai ama amekufa. Kile ningeomba ni serikali ifanye maneno yao imrudishe hapa, sababu namtaka akiwa hai, akiwa hapa.
Tunasikia watu wanaenda kuvuzwa kwa siku chache, alafu natumwa laini za bere mahali vita imesidia. Kwa hivyo sisi hatujui vile mtoto wetu yuko.
Bunduki tu zenye anaona zinabebwa na mapolisi huku, na yeye hajaifanya kazi ya upishi na bunduki hazipelekani. Sasa mtoto akipewa bunduki anaenda kufanya kazi ya bunduki, ataanzisha wapi? Wapate kutengeneza kazi, ndivyo hata watoto wetu waache kwenda nje kazi za nje.
Missing Kenyans in Russia is definitely something on the entry of MPs as they resume their sittings after the long recess. Moving on, secondary school principals in Malava constituency, Kakamega County, have warned that the implementation of the competency-based education could be in serious jeopardy should the government fail to address challenges such as lack of learning facilities. The principals are calling on the state to improve learning infrastructure, employ more teachers, and enhance the overall learning environment.
Tuweze kuwa na ushirikiano fulani na hiyo technical school ili wale instructors waweze kupata nafasi kufika katika shule zetu kutusaidia kufundisha hayo masomo.
I will work closely with Minister of Education and TSC to advocate for adequate staffing, teachers' motivation, and the continuous professional development. We will support guidance and counseling departments, mentorship programs, and co-curricular activities to nurture well-rounded students.
CPC is about computer and ICT. Those children have come to our schools. When you talk about computer, they just look at us. we need computers. We need computer rooms. We need computer teachers.
And to health matters now, where more than 200 caregivers in Kericho County have been trained on nutritional awareness and feeding techniques to prioritize safety of children living with cerebral palsy. According to Pamela Keno, the founder of Arise and Shine, there is a need for caregivers to be trained to improve the quality of care and enhance the safety and well-being of vulnerable individuals. She said children suffering from cerebral palsy need a lot of care, and the caregivers often face challenges while feeding them.
Chakula ambao mzazi wake aliweza kumlisha, chakula ambao hajaweza kumlisha, na huyu mtoto aliweza kunyongwa na chakula na akaaga dunia. So hili jambo lilinivunja moyo sana, na nikafikiria kwamba je, hawa wazazi wanaweza kupata hamasisho vipi ili kwamba waweze kulea watoto wao vizuri?
Shida yetu mingi kwanza huwa ni psychosocial, yani upate tu ile encouragement ya kwamba you are not alone in this journey. Kuna wengine pia mko nao katika hii safari.
So we've just been giving information to the caregivers about how to take better care of their children, because they all really care about them or they wouldn't be here. And so we wanted to give them some information about how to care even better for their children.
Now, drama unfolded in Thika Central Business District after a family confronted an auctioneering firm over the repossession and auction of 2 lorries valued at about 7 million shillings. According to Rufus Keretai, his vehicles were auctioned without due processes, leaving his family without their only source of income. The auctioneering firm owner, Iliod Wambo, confirmed the vehicles were auctioned and the matter is in court.
Gari zangu zilikuwa imefanya accident 2018. Hiyo kesi ilikesiwa kama mimi sijui. Wakati nilipewa degree, nilipewa gikiri, nikaambiwa nilipe shilingi 2.5 million. Mimi 2.5 million nikaenda nikaona sitafanya kesi.
Now, Wikimedia User Group, a non-governmental organization committed to promoting free knowledge, digital literacy and inclusivity, has launched the first wiki club at Pwani University in Kilifi County, bringing on board, students to curate the coastal cultural heritage online. Executive Director of Wikimedia Kenya, Winnie Kabintie, says their mission to highlight the rich cultural heritage of Kenya's coastal communities through online platforms and enhance their cultural identity.
We are partnering with Wikimedia Kenya to install, there's a software called Kiwix. It's a free learning tool whereby we are going to put them in our libraries to promote digital literacy.
We are not just consumers of information, kwa sababu sisi wenyewe pia we are part of curating factual, verifiable and accurate information yenye iko kwa lugha kila mtu anaweza elewa.
Since we are located in a region whereby we are blessed by cultural heritage and massive information that is unrepresented or undocumented, we decided that we should come up with this club so that we do this much things that are not done.
We are creating a platform through which, one, we can improve on research. Number 2, we can improve on the accessibility of this data. And then number 3, we can also have communities getting involved in dissemination of information about our communities.
Isiolo Girls National School has benefited from a donation of free sanitary towels by the Isiolo County Government. The initiative, spearheaded by County Woman Member of the National Assembly, Mumina Bonaya, aims to promote menstrual hygiene management, keep girls in school, and restore dignity among learners who struggle to access the essential commodity.
Tuko hapa kupeleka hizi sanitary towels kwa all the primary schools
and all the junior secondary schools in this county. Zote zitapata kuadmit watoto kwa grade 10 wengi, kwa sababu president pia amepeana directive wakuwe admitted. Kama badala wakae nyumbani wakuje, whether wazazi wataweza kununua uniform or not, whether wazazi wataweza kulipa fees or not, imesemekana wakuwe admitted.
As I'm speaking to, are in class without uniform, with zero fees. So I hope we are going to be assisted even with food and so on.
After that noble gesture, allow me to revisit an earlier story where the Kiambu County Assembly has resumed sittings after a prolonged recess amid rising political tension over reports of a possible impeachment motion against the governor. The MCA's call for unity as leaders said 8 pending bills, including the ECDE bill, will be prioritized. Speaker Charles Athingo assured members that funds from the county executive will be used to refurbish the assembly and complete stalled projects. Assembly leaders dismissed claims of intimidation and assured members that legislative business would proceed without disruption.
So we are going to refurbish this assembly. The paintwork is ongoing. We also want to go and ensure that we modernize our assembly. It's going to be a modern chamber with modern equipment befitting an institution of a county assembly of our stature.
It is our commitment to the people of our great county that this county assembly will never be used in the wrong reasons. And whatever thing that we shall pass on this floor of the house, it has to come from the convictions of the members.
Number 4.
Very well, time to make sense of business, where distribution of the subsidized fertilizer has kicked off with areas that have started receiving rains being prioritized. Agriculture Principal Secretary Paul Rono says 8 million bags of the subsidized fertilizer is being distributed during this long rain season.
Secretary Paul Rono was in Athi River, Machakos County to flag off a batch of the subsidized fertilizer to Western Kenya and the Rift Valley region. The fertilizer is being distributed in batches.
The fertilizers we have acquired this time are crop-specific, they are region-specific, and soil-specific, and they meet the necessary quality standard.
Rono says Kenya Railways is increasing cargo trains to the targeted regions to fast-track the distribution of the farm input and ensure farmers are well equipped for the planting season.
We have close to 200 young people every day which are loading and offloading fertilizers. And we have employed so many lorry drivers. We have impacted on the hotel industry, on the fuel industry.
He meanwhile says maize stocks held by farmers and millers are enough to supply consumers over the next 6 months. Hence, the decision to allow in duty-free maize is being reconsidered.
The maize we have now can last for 6 months, which we have in our store. We have enough beans in our store.
Rono says farmers have already started selling their maize to the National Cereals and Produce Board, boosting available stocks for milling. He says 200,000 bags of maize have been received from farmers, with an additional 1 million bags expected in coming weeks.
We have seen an influx of farmers bringing now maize to NCPP. We are receiving around 50,000 a week.
Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
The government is reforming the savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs, to strengthen the cooperatives and build strong, resilient SACCOs that empower communities and ease access to affordable credit. Speaking while receiving the report on the transformation of SACCOs from a team of experts appointed to review the organization's governance and operations at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto noted that the reforms are focused on modernizing operations, strengthening governance, and protecting savings of members of the cooperative movement. The report recommends upgrading of digital infrastructure, integration of fintech solutions, and adoption of shared services among SACCOs, which are the backbone of financial access for many Kenyans in the formal and informal sectors. Another news, the State Department for ICT and the Digital Economy has begun drafting a national policy on artificial intelligence, AI, and emerging technologies to guide responsible, ethical, and inclusive adoption of AI. Speaking during the private sector and tech community roundtable in Nairobi, Special Envoy on Technology Philip Thigo noted that the move is timely to ensure the country does not remain merely a consumer of imported technologies, but instead becomes an active participant in developing and deploying AI solutions that address local needs. The initiative has brought together representatives from the private sector, tech communities, academia, and government agencies.
Governing AI from kind of broader guardrails, right? Because the more you narrow it down, the more you become obsolete in less than 2 or 3 months. So you go broad, but the broad ones are guardrails. So we look at it in terms of it. We say it's the use of it, is the misuse of it, and the misuse of it.
CIC Insurance Group has netted 1.8 billion shillings from selling 150 acres of prime parcels of land. That is expected to strengthen the company's liquidity and overall financial position. CIC Insurance Group Managing Director Patrick Nyaga says the two transactions mark a major milestone in the company's portfolio management, improving its ability to meet commitments to policyholders and stakeholders. The cash is from the sale of a 50-acre parcel of land at Ushirika Gardens in Kiambu County and another 100 acres in Kajiado. CIC Insurance Group holds hundreds of acres of land, primarily for investment and development purposes. The drama of knockout football unfolded across Europe last night with penalty shootouts and late goals shaping up the semi-final lineup. In Berlin, Hertha BSC and Freiburg played out to a 1-1 draw after extra time. Reese struck late in the 104th minute for Hertha, but Suzuki had earlier equalized in the 96th minute for Freiburg. The tie went to penalties, where Freiburg kept their composure to win 5-4 and secure a semi-final spot. In Italy, Napoli and Como also delivered a tense quarter-final. Vergara gave Napoli the lead shortly after halftime, but Turina had earlier equalized from the penalty spot. The match was decided on penalties, with Como standing Napoli 7-6 to reach the last four.
4 up in the shootout. Huge pressure. And Suzuki just about falls alive. It's Clemens against Müller. And Müller saves. And Freiburg make their third semi-final.
Martin Baturina up against Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. And it just gets past Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Martin Baturina, more ever came up. And that's going to go through to Vergara. Vergara bearing down on goal. Napoli's newest rising star with an all. Kemp, great penalty. Lobotka, can he keep his cool? It's Jean But.
Now, Chelsea missed a chance to break into the Premier League top 4 after surrendering a 2-goal lead to draw 2-2 with Leeds United at Stamford Bridge. Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer scored either side of half-time to give the Blues a comfortable cushion, but Leeds fought back with goals from Lucas Mencha in the 67th minute and Noah Okafor 6 minutes later. Chelsea had won all 4 league matches under new manager Liam Rossignol, but Manchester United's 1-1 draw with West Ham later ensured the Blues stay 5th on the table. Leeds climbed to 15th, overtaking Tottenham. In other matches, Everton lost 2-1 at home to Bournemouth, while Tottenham Hotspur were beaten 2-1 by Newcastle.
Into the gap between the touchline, the 18-yard box, gets the cross in, Souček turns it home and West Ham lead. Whips it out to Mbumo bends the cross in, Šeško! Yes! Benjamin Šeško with the...
Yeah, back to local news where women in Miguti village, Githongori constituency in Kiambu County today staged protest over the rising sale and consumption of illicit brews and drugs in the area, which they say claimed the lives of several young men. The women claim that at least 4 young men aged between the ages of 19 and 35 have died over the past year after consuming the lethal brews.
Irate women in Miguti village blocked the Kigumo Kibicho hours, protesting what they described as a surge in the consumption of illicit alcohol and drug abuse in the area. The women claim that at least 4 young men aged between 19 and 35 have died over the past year after consuming the lethal brews. They further allege that drug use of, among others, cocaine and marijuana has also increased, with young people being the main victims.
Pombe inatusikiza sana kwa sababu watoto wetu wamekufa. Na kuna kunywa watoto wanakunywa pagi, wanaputa pagi, wakakunywa pombe na sisi tukasirika sana. Watoto wetu 4 tumesika watoto 4. Sasa tunasema enough is enough.
The women accused a local trader of selling the illegal liquor openly, saying he is protected by the local security officers. They further claimed the outlets run for 24 hours a day without interference.
Nimekasirika sana juu ya hii club. Juu watoto wanauziwa ile pombe isiyozuri, ile baya. Mtoto wangu alikuwa anakunywa kutoka saa 12 asubuhi mpaka usiku. Kwa hivyo hii club ni 24 hours. Hakuna masaa.
One of the protesters, Jacinta Njue, said she is still grieving after losing her 35-year-old son, who she says died after consuming the illicit brew.
Unasikia mtoto wangu aliumia juu ya hii pombe. Kwa hivyo tunataka hii pombe serikali yetu ichukue ni pombe gani hii inaua watoto. Juu kuua watoto ni kuua ile generation inakuja.
The protesters have now called on the government to move with speed and crack down on the manufacture and sale of illicit brews and drugs in Miguti area and the surrounding area. For Prime Edition, I am Teresa.
Very well, at about 9 minutes to 2 p.m. we are due, and that's where we put a cap on KBC Lunchtime News this Wednesday. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. Remember, the World Radio Week continues right here on KBC. And of course, on Friday, we'll be having more activities and we'll keep you afloat with all the latest happening, not only the World Radio Week, but also on the news front. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Njue. Karon Joroge has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon. Cheers.
Live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. This is KBC English Service.
Listen to the radio. Oh, listen.
The UN Secretary General Osan has arrived in Monrovia.
Started in 1928, the KBC English service is proudly the station of the nation and the mother of radio in Kenya. The heritage brand Sundowner remains the undisputed #1 early evening show. As we celebrate the unique value of radio on World Radio Day 2026, the Sundowner Sunset Date is coming home.
Rock me, rock me, rock me, baby.
We invite you to come and enjoy the show right from Broadcasting House, live, and interact with your favorite presenters of the station on Friday, the 13th of February 2026, starting from 4 p.m. till late. Entry is free. It's a date this Friday at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation on Harithuku Road, Nairobi.
Rock me till I want no more. There's a feeling of love deep inside
me. She's called Pastor Lillian Nyongesa Nabuleje.
Dream of every woman. Yes. Pastor Richard Nyongesa. First, we've met as ministers. We were serving together. Then he was a married man. I was in another relationship. The wife then passed on.
I didn't have sleep. I had a voice. You marry this lady or you die.
Oh God. I opened up about my past just to scare him. I'm like, I'm barren, But God of a second chance gave us the twins.
I don't regret getting Lillian. She has made me a man.
Ipa imani kila siku kuchapo.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the Positive Warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we have to
do it twice.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Haya basi mtazamaji, hapa nafurahia chai ambacho kimetengenezwa na miti dawa.
Lakini katika makala ya wiki hii, mtazamaji, tunaangazia umuhimu wa mazingira, tukiunganisha mazingira na kilimo. Je, nini kitafanyika? Hivyo basi sayansi inasema kwamba mifumo ya kilimo iliyoko sasa hivi ndiyo chanzo kikubwa cha mabadiliko ya tabia nchi, na ikiwa wakulima katika taifa la Kenya na kote duniani wataweza kuzingatia mifumo bora ya kilimo ambayo pia inatunza mazingira, basi tutaweza kuwa na mazingira ya kufana. Mkulima wetu leo hii ni mjuzi katika sekta hii. Kwa hiyo katika kipindi cha leo tutakuwa tunaangazia mazingira, kilimo pamoja na matunda, na pia baadaye tutakuwa tunafanya value addition, ukipenda kuongeza thamani katika matunda ambayo anazalisha hapa shambani. Nikueleze kwamba tumefadhiliwa vilivyo na chuo kikuu cha JKUAT ambacho kinatembea na wakulima katika taifa la Kenya, mtazamaji, ili kuweza kufanikisha safari yao ya kilimo na kufanya vizuri katika kilimo